Hi, this is Lisa Condit, Director of Marketing and PR for the Hanover Theater, and I'm so pleased to be here today with my very first guest. We have Jennifer Agbay, the Director of Ballet Arts Worcester, and her Clara, Meredith Hunter Mason. Cannot wait to find out more from them, and they are going to tell us a lot more about their background and the 5th annual production of The Nutcracker, presented again by Ballet Arts Worcester. They have a generous sponsor with a presenting sponsor with Commerce Bank and a production sponsor of Price Chopper. And first, I just have to say, I know Jennifer personally, and she is a great person, and she is fun. She is the choreographer for our youth summer program, and I had the privilege of watching her audition this year, and I was blown away by the professionalism of that audition and the opportunity for dancers here in central Massachusetts to participate in a really professional experience. And I know that it's going to help everybody who's interested in dance pursue their dreams. So, Jennifer.
Hi, Lisa.
Hi, thanks for joining us.
I'm blushing.
Jennifer, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh, let's see. I am, like you said, the director of Ballet Arts Worcester. I started the school almost 7 years ago to provide classical ballet training for students in the area who are looking for formal training and discipline through dance as an art form. I am a dancer myself. I am a mother and a wife. And
you live right here in central Massachusetts.
And I do. I was born in Worcester. So having a production here and providing this production for the community of Worcester is really something special to me. I really thrive on the fact that I am a local artist putting something so profound on stage.
It is really wonderful. And with us, too, is Meredith. Meredith, I'd love to hear more about you. I know you live in Sturbridge, but tell us more.
I'm a junior at Tantasqua High School, and I have been dancing. This will be my 11th year, and with Ballet Arts Worcester for 5 years. And this will also be my 5th Nutcracker.
So what roles did you have before you landed the not Sugar Plum Fairy, but the plum role of Clara?
My first year, I was a soldier, and then my second year, I was a party girl. And for the third year, I was actually a party girl as well as an angel.
Ooh.
Yes, and then just last year, I was a party girl on point and one of the members of the Chinese Corps de Ballet.
And I just love the costumes, and I love the set of this production. And every year, it seems like it gets just a little bit better. It really does.
Well, that's the goal.
How did you get involved with the theater? I mean, I know, but our listeners don't know, so tell us.
How did I get involved with the theater? About 5 years ago, I was lucky enough to receive the contact of the executive director, Troy Siebels. And I actually walked through his door with this proposal of telling him that I am a local artist. I have a dance school. I would like to open the opportunity to local dancers to put on a production of The Nutcracker. I felt very secure in my proposal and what I could provide the theater and in the community through, the opportunities with this production. And Troy is such a great guy, and what made me feel so great about knowing him and knowing his personality is that he was very open to sharing the stage with local artists, and I just thought that was amazing. It's always been a dream of mine to put on a larger production, and especially provide my students and dancers throughout the community this opportunity to be in a grand stage, to dance with a live orchestra, the Massachusetts Symphony Orchestra. Even we plug in a choir as well. So to have all these components is really wonderful, and that was really my first meeting with the theater.
I remember when you came in, Jen. I thought that was fabulous, and I was in the corner going, yes, ballet, traditional ballet, go. Yes, they're really great. Go for it.
Thank you.
But, I also want to point out that this isn't just a local community production, because you do have professional
Absolutely.
ballerinas and dancers. So tell us a little bit about some of the other roles that we'll see in the ballet and who's filling them.
Yep. Our professional dancers this year are from Festival Ballet. down in Providence. And they are Sugar Plum Fairy and Cavalier, Snow King and Queen, as well as our Nutcracker Prince. And I am just so happy to have a relationship with Festival Ballet, to have them come to our city and know what our city can provide as far as performance opportunities. And I know in years past they've really been blown away, because our Nutcracker is comprised mostly of youth dancers, but plugging in these professional dancers, makes it all, I'm going to say it's more robust. It gives that professional feel,
Right.
which I'm happy.
Well, and I have to say, when you've been taking dance and you've been training as either a ballet dancer or jazz or tap or whatever it is, if you have the right instruction and the right technique, when you've been dancing for 11 years, you're a very talented dancer.
Sure.
It's not like what people are really used to seeing, I think. So I want to just keep calling you Clara instead of Meredith. But Meredith, what is
Call her Clara.
Besides the obvious, what is it about this story and this role that really appeals to you? What makes you want to try out every year?
I think it's a ballet that's very different from all others because it has, as Ms. Jen was saying, a lot of different components. So it has not just classical ballet, but it has acting. That's my favorite part. And all these different things that bring it together, which is a lot different from any other performances that we do.
I think that's really great. And, I also think it's wonderful that the two of you have the opportunity to go around and do some of these press calls and to be interviewed. And I love the fact that you're out in the community and you're at book signings and book readings. And I just have to ask, every girl that's listening and every female who's listening is going to want to know the answer to this question. I have to tell all of you, Meredith has very long, very straight hair. And she turns it into a curly banana curl explosion, and I can't even imagine, because I have very straight hair myself, how do you make that happen? Just as an off topic, how long does it take, Meredith?
Ask her mother that question.
Yeah, my mom does it every time, and the first time we did it was about 2 hours, but we've been able to reduce it to an hour and a half, and sometimes even less if we're lucky.
Really? Okay, and so the secret I want to know is, how do you get those curls to stay? Because I spray my hair before I curl, while I curl, after I curl, before I take the rollers or curling iron out, and I let it sit and dry.
Yeah,
Yet they still fall. So how do you get it to stay while you're dancing? That's a very active role.
We actually have even two kinds of hairspray.
Ah.
One that we do before we curl and then one that we do after.
And so did somebody, I know this isn't about ballet, but did somebody train you on that? Did somebody give you those tips, or you just knew because it's your hair?
Well, we knew there was going to be a lot of hairspray, and then we did some research on Google and YouTube. So
That's so funny.
It's an art form on its own.
It really is.
Truly.
It really is.
Truly.
So what do you think really makes this production different than others? When people think of the Nutcracker, they love it because it's a great holiday story. It's got magic in it. It's beautiful. So why your production at the Hanover Theater instead of any other number of options?
What makes it different, I think, are the people who are creating it. And I keep going back to community and local. That's who we are. I don't know how many audience members go to a show and see people that they actually know in the production. So year after year, I think that's what the excitement is, knowing that you could have a niece or a daughter or a grandson on that stage. That's what makes this production a little bit different. And quite possibly keeping it different is just keeping it traditional. I really try to stick to the storyline and, of course, the composition of Tchaikovsky. He was a brilliant composer, and if you didn't have the visual in front of you, you could understand what was happening just via the music. And I try so hard as an artist to stick to those guidelines, to be true to the production.
I think that's great. I also think that it's important for people to remember when they hear community, when they hear local, that doesn't mean that it's a lesser quality.
No, not at all. Not with these kids.
No. So where do you find your dancers?
So throughout the community, obviously they're coming from Ballet Arts Worcester, and they're coming from all the other dance schools in the area. And you have to applaud these other dance schools too, because they are doing an amazing job with their students. And it's true. And I'm sorry I keep using local, but that's who we are. And I see these children on stage, and sometimes it blows my mind. And I'm like, I can't tell if this is a professional or if this is a student. So that's the coolness of it, really. And I'm just, I just go back to being awed by these children.
So how many dancers auditioned for this?
We had 200 this year. There were 200 kids.
And how does that compare to previous years?
When we first started this, we only had maybe about 50.
Wow.
So in 5 years' time, we're up to 200. So each year, I think people were catching on about the opportunity and the professionalism of the show.
It's competitive.
It is competitive. And, we do state that in the beginning, that we are looking for specific things, skill level, talent, and, of course, ability.
I do think that some people go into that audition process not realizing just how competitive it's going to be. And it's such a good experience, because if you are going to pursue a career in the arts, you need to understand how to conduct yourself in a professional audition.
Right, because there are celebrations and there are disappointments, unfortunately.
So which are the most coveted roles, do you think, besides Clara?
Besides Clara.
Every girl wants to be Clara.
Yeah, they do. I think every girl's dream is Sugar Plum Fairy. Absolutely. I know within our little community, I think Spanish Dancer is one that the kids love.
Very
love
fiery.
to do.
Yep.
Very fiery, spicy. What others are there? I think Kissy Doll would be another one.
So what do you look for when you're looking for those specific roles?
Each one of them has a specific quality. So when we audition the dancers, what we try to do is give them sections of choreography from that divertissement. And we see how they can interpret it through quality of movement, through personality. It's not just the steps, it's what they're actually bringing forward, pretty much on their own. Their own.
So Meredith, a lot of dancers never get the opportunity to dance to a live orchestra or a live accompaniment for years, if ever. Do you think it's different?
Absolutely. I think one of the hardest parts is, as a dancer, you have to learn to adjust to the tempo. So the orchestra is great to have live because you watch them, they watch you, and you get a great relationship between, but then there's also the moments when you have to adjust to go faster or slower depending on, so that gets a little tricky.
So do you do any forte turns in your
I
role?
do not in this role.
I was going to say, so how do you speed up or slow down the forte turns? That's what I want to know.
It can be tricky. It can be tricky.
But again, your orchestra is a professional orchestra as well. Right. How many pieces usually play? Do you know?
We're growing. I think this year we're going to have up to 34 pieces.
Wow.
Yeah, which is amazing.
All in that orchestra pit at the Hanover Theater for the Performing Arts.
They're making accommodations, which is fantastic. They see that the production is growing, and they see that they have to grow as well. And by putting more players in there, that's what they need to do.
So I think another thing that potential dancers and parents would be interested to know about is what's the rehearsal schedule like if you're a dancer or your daughter or son is a dancer in the Nutcracker? What's a typical day like? And I'd like to get both of your perspectives, because I'm sure that Miss Jen has a different perspective than
Absolutely. Thank you for saying
Miss
that.
Meredith.
This is true.
Absolutely. So let's start with you. Obviously, you're not in rehearsal right now, but you're a busy, busy girl outside of the dance hall.
Yes, so every day, Monday through Saturday, actually, I have a class, and then some of those days we have rehearsals right after. And
just let me ask you, how long is your class? Just so people understand.
It's an hour and a half.
Right.
And then on Saturday it's actually 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, we have that. And then we have rehearsals, which are usually a couple hours. And then this year, since I'm doing Clara, I have rehearsals on Sunday as well.
Wow. And so in addition to the rehearsals, in addition to your Monday through Saturday classes, how much time does it also take doing different appearances?
So especially lately, we've been having a lot of different events going on. So it might be right after a rehearsal, right before, or sometimes it'll be right during. And so those will usually be like once a week we've been doing them. And then this week we just have so many.
Right, right. How about you, Miss Jen?
We're juggling a lot. A day in the life of Miss Jen on Nutcracker.
When does it start?
Funny you ask, because I will say to my family, children included, it is August. I say, Mommy, we'll see you in December.
Right.
That's what I say to them. And my family has been so patient and so flexible and supportive, which is amazing. I could not do that without them. But just as Meredith was saying about classes, teaching classes, an hour and a half, and then going on to, possibly a 2.5 to 3 hour rehearsal during the week. And then on Saturdays, I teach pretty much from 9 to 12, and then from 12 to almost 6 o'clock. I am in rehearsal.
Well, thank goodness Thanksgiving weekend is coming right up, and it's our one opportunity to take advantage of what's really a great holiday tradition here in downtown Worcester, central Massachusetts. Is there anything special you want people to know about this? Anything you want to make sure we take away so that we know that the Nutcracker is a place to be Thanksgiving weekend?
Go ahead, Meredith.
I think it's a wonderful performance, and it's a great part of the holiday season, a great way to start it. So I think people should come and see and watch the art and watch how much the students have put into it to start off their holiday.
That's great. And are there any resources you think people should look at to preview the show, perhaps at our own website under
Absolutely.
the Nutcracker?
Website, we have commercials out there. We have Facebook pages.
And what's your Facebook page?
We are Ballet Arts Worcester.
We also connect to you at the Hanover Theater. So you can connect with us on thehanovertheater.org. Go to our shows and listings. We actually have a preview of the Nutcracker Ballet where we have a video, and I think we have an audio too.
Yes, we do. We do.
So that gives you a nice taste for what you're going to see. And thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank
We've
you for
enjoyed
having
talking
us.
to you, and we look forward to seeing you on stage and clapping up a storm.
Will do. Thank you.
Thank you.